This video is about promiscuity, having a lot of sex. So I mentioned in a previous video that I was a chubby kid that turned into a fat teen. And most people can tell if I was a guy or a girl. And so, as you can imagine, my self-esteem was not there at all. I had horrible, bad self-esteem. I think I must have been 16 at the time, but I went on a diet over the summertime in the most horrible way, like not recommended at all. I ate a bowl of cereal every day, Bill and Ted's excellent cereal, which was delicious. So this is not a knock on the cereal, it was great. But it was I think we got it on Wick. And so that's why we had boxes of it. And so I loved it, it was great. But I lost weight, I lost a lot of weight really fast. I think the last time that I weighed myself, I was 240, I think. And I had gotten down to 136. And again, this was over the summertime. So I remember going to school the next year and no one recognized me. So anyway, I joined the military, and you know how it is, you have your uniform on and people start to look at you, and you know, I went from overweight to underweight, which is better in the eyes of some people, even though I was a little too skinny. But in society, it's better to be skinny than overweight, right? Not true, but that's the theory, or that's the perception. So anyways, I joined the military, and at this point, I'm starting to accept the fact that I was gay. And I'm gonna talk about this in another video, how that affected me. But for this video, I specifically want to talk about promiscuity. So I was all the voids in my life of being close, of not having parents that I could be close to, of my best friend raping me, all this stuff that happened just put me in this situation where like I didn't want to be close to anyone. Like I wanted to, there was that desire was, it's always there. I think for most people it's there. You want to be close to people. That's just part of being human. But there's the fear of them hurting you, and so you don't. And you find ways to sabotage that. And so that happened to me. But then here I am, you know, this is gonna sound horrible, but I'm being honest. You know how when you are overweight, a lot of times you have a great personality, you know, like, and it's because you have empathy. You develop these things that a lot of people spend years trying to have. You have it. You know what it's like. To look at someone and not see them just physically, and just look at them and look for their soul and look for their spirit. And so I was really good at that. So when I lost the weight, it was really easy. And you know, I made some gay friends, and I'm going to the bars and the clubs and stuff, and it was really easy for me to find guys. You know, like again, I'm being honest, but it was easy. I knew how to turn it on. I knew exactly what to say to make them feel a certain way. I was good at it. And in my mind, I thought, I'm making up for lost time, right? So I didn't realize that it was a bad thing, and I was doing damage to myself. And so there's the mental issues that I had of not being adequate, and I still, you know, I never saw my body. Even to this day, it's hard for me to see my body. I always see the overweight kid. It's still there, and I'm always, you know, a lot of us go through this. Any bad thing, you zoom in on that and you focus on that. And so for me, it's like, oh, even when I had a nice body, it's okay now, but I went through my stage where I was working out all the time, and I really had a really nice body, and the sucky part is that I never realized it. Like, I look at pictures now of me back then, I'm like, oh my God, like I was killing myself and hating myself and thinking, you know, pointing out every flaw in my body. So I never appreciated all that work that I did and that my body, it was a nice body. I didn't know. I was so mentally, I was so still in that stage of hating myself and just, you know, just dogging myself that I couldn't even appreciate, even with all the work that I did. Because I did a lot of working out and eating right and everything. And none of it, I benefited from none of that stuff because I wasn't looking at myself right. And that's the weird thing to come to terms with, is that because at the same time I'm being very promiscuous, you know, but I'm thinking, oh, it's because of my personality, you know, I'm decent looking, but it's my personality. It's because I have that, you know, great personality, so that's why guys want to talk to me, but they don't want a relationship with me. I didn't think that. I thought, you know, and just to be fair, I would hear stuff like, oh, I've always wanted to be with a Latin guy, and so, you know, you hear stuff like that, and you're like, oh, that's what it is then. It's because I'm a fetish, and that's why they're trying to check it off on the list. So whatever it was, whatever I could think of to not look at it like this could be something serious, like this could be someone who's in my life, because I was scared for that. And after a while, I just like, I knew something was wrong, you know, like I'm not gonna lie to you, there's a level of it that's fun and exciting, but there's a level of it that's sick. Like, I went through this phase where I'm like, okay, I want to sleep with someone from different countries, and I kept a journal, you know, oh, where are you from, and blah blah blah, and oh, and you know, just, that's not healthy, that's not normal, but I did it, and it was like a game to me, and it was fun. But the entire time, it was because I was afraid, you know, of letting someone in, of being close to someone. And I made so many mistakes. Like, I had a boyfriend for a year and a half, 2 years, somewhere around there, and I totally cheated on him. And he totally dumped me, which he should have, you know, and I'm glad he did. I couldn't even tell him. Like, I felt it was killing me hiding that, and so I'm not even gonna go into how I told him. I didn't really tell him, but I left something for him to find because I was too much of a coward to tell him face to face. And I can say now it's kind of like that the one that got away kind of thing, because he was a great guy, and we don't really talk anymore, even though like I spoke to him a few years ago. Like, I found him on MySpace. That's how long it's been. But and so we talked, and he's moved on. I think he's in a relationship now. The last time I heard, he was, and so good for him. But the thing is that he was a great guy, and that didn't change. And you know, obviously I'm in a relationship now, so it wasn't like, oh, I wish that things. No, I don't have that feeling. But at the same time, I do think like, wow, this is how dumb I was. Luckily, God looked down on me and gave me someone else who's just as incredible. And maybe that goes back to the personality and me being able to empathize, and so that being something that's helped me, you know. But yeah, not many people get that opportunity, have the same luck that I did. So I wish that none of that stuff, that the self-esteem had been there, so that I could have done things right, you know. Who knows? I think about who knows how many guys I hurt. I was never mean or, you know, like dismissive or anything like that, but I just took it, like I never took it seriously. If a guy said, oh, well, you know, we should, you know, you're great and we should hang out again. Yeah, okay. And the whole time I thought, no, he doesn't want that. He just wants to, you know, no. why would he want this? You know, like, so whatever. For whatever reason we slept together, that's all that it was. And so I wish, who knows how many great guys which one could have changed my life before I met my partner, you know. And it's just, it's dumb. You think that you're doing the right thing, especially when you grow up in my culture where like machismo, and you know, it's good for a guy, that's a normal guy things to go around and have sex with as many people as they can. That's not good. And when you have a sickness, when you're like me and you have all these mental issues you're not dealing with, and then this is something, oh, this is what I'm good at. My dad was super good at that, you know, that's what he liked. That's, to him, that's what a man was, and I'm doing it, so I'm better. No, he had issues. And me just trying to measure up and be okay with myself and be happy with myself, and having that chance to fulfill those same wishes that he had and the things that he did, because my dad was a super player, made me feel like, oh, maybe I was normal, and I wasn't. So that's just something to think about. The goal should be to find one person to be with. And if you're not in that zone, then you need to stop and evaluate. And maybe if it's like me, it's things that have nothing related to sex or relationships, you know, romantic relationships. It could be totally other things that it's happened to you that's coming out in this way. Most of the time it is. Most of the time it's with your family and how you grew up and what your model of a man is. But deal with it so that you can be happy. You know, that's what it's about. So I hope you like and subscribe, but more importantly, comment. Just let me know if you've gone through something similar. Let me know how you got through it. If you need any more details, whatever, let me know.